Okay. So, okay, I'm here. I hope I'm audible and the visual is clear. So yeah, as we start the stream, our target is being hit. It's about to get hit. Sell side liquidity below these lows and the daily fair value gap. Yeah. And the time that I wanted it to, which is around 9:30 to the news driver time, that is 9:45. 9:45, we have PMI number, something like that. Oh, flash services PMI. So around that time, we want the sell side liquidity to be taken out, as I talked about in the private session. And we have taken out these lows. Now I don't want any kind of a retracement into this fair value gap, as I said. And you can see we have a fair value gap here. We can work off of that and move lower if it wants to, but not this one. This is too much for me. So yeah, time is 9:33 right now. We will wait till maybe around 10. We have 9:45 news driver coming out, so nothing before that. I'll just set up my charts. Dow already hit our target yesterday in the Asian session. I got stopped out at break even, but everything was correct in terms of drawn liquidity yesterday. The only factor that I got it wrong was the time aspect, but the draw was correct. Okay, so I'll just show you my charts. Where is my right pane? I think I have to refresh it. There it is. So let's go to the weekly chart first. Again, we'll just revise all the higher time frame levels. We have this weekly fair value gap. We are at the lower end of it, and we have the daily fair value gap here. So that's the next draw on liquidity, the daily fair value gap, and more important than that, we have sell side liquidity below these two lows. Lots of it. We want it. This is for ES I'm talking about. Again, made an equal low, relative equal lows. We took out this sell side liquidity pool, but I'm more interested in the pool of sell side liquidity below here. I'll do dollar index as well. We are roughly around the consequent encroachment. We rallied higher. Now, this rally here is kind of, I did not anticipate this rally. This is not optimum for bearishness. For today, for now, we had a big upside, big London session, large range. So we are finding some kind of resistance at the consequent encroachment of the wick, as Daniel said, and also the mean threshold of this bearish order block, finding some kind of a retracement from it. And as I said, this is the last line of defense for the bullishness. This red value gap. Although I do think it I'll say that no, it's not the last line of defense, but we want to see some kind of, it can retrace a little bit more, maybe after this. But let's see what we get today. You can now send non-verbal feedback. Yes, slow down, etc. from reactions on the toolbar. Can you test, can you test that function? Send non-verbal feedback from reactions. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Slow down. Okay. Okay. So what I'm watching right now is the weekly busy here. It's too much of the very gaps here, but this this weekly busy here, we can close respecting this weekly busy. What I mean to say is today is Friday, and we can. Mhm. Mm, yeah, something here, but it's too early to say that. What I'm trying to say is this candle that is forming currently, this weekly candle, it can have a close when the trading for the week ends. It can have a close respecting the high or the low of this weekly busy here. That's what I'm trying to say. And because we had a large range on London session today, in London session today, it's a little difficult for me to expect some kind of an expansion again in the New York session. It typically, will not make a big move again in the New York session, in my opinion. It will it will revolve around this green, this weekly busy level, and close inside of it, respecting the high or the low. Ideally, respect the low of it. So, I think I can remove this red level. I don't need it anymore. And as Daniel said, we have found a high at the consequent encroachment of this wick daily candle. So what I'm expecting from dollar is pretty much some kind of a retracement or maybe nothing. I have less expectations from dollar for this session, for this day. Almost it's getting too much for me. Yeah, let's continue. The dollar can pretty much consolidate inside of this green shaded fair value gap, weekly level, weekly fair value gap, and close inside of it. That can happen for dollar today and close here. Not saying it won't go outside of this fair value gap, but I'm expecting the closing price to be somewhat inside of this green fair value gap weekly level. Yep. Yep. And we'll have to see what the next minute 9:45 allows us. Let's go back to ES and 9:45 will begin now. And I will like it if 9:45 ramps down into the sell side liquidity pool here. I will love it. Nasdaq, the sick sister, catching up. ES will go down here as well, and Nasdaq will take out the sell side liquidity as well. Okay. This, as I said, even though up till here, Nasdaq was showing strength. Relatively, it's stronger. Yes, absolutely. But our narrative suggested, our bias suggested that both of these indexes should take out the sell side liquidity pool. And now Nasdaq is catching up. And I said it clearly that Nasdaq as well as ES will take this low, take out the CPI and FOMC low. That's what our bias suggested. That's why narrative is important. Without narrative, SMT is not. SMT won't work. Yes, Nasdaq made the high here, but absolutely. But it makes sense for all of these indexes to take out the sell side liquidity below these lows. Lots of liquidity here. I want it right before 10 a.m. I will love it. I'll just show one chart and talk about the things that I'm watching on other chart. One chart makes it clean. Let's see Nasdaq. And now, as you can see, even though Nasdaq made the higher high here, Nasdaq was showing strength yesterday. Dow was the weaker one, the weakest actually. ES was second weak, and Nasdaq was the strength relatively. But now you can see why I called that Nasdaq is relatively strong, but still it will go for sell side liquidity. ES is consolidating right now. ES is just in a small range right now, while Nasdaq is expanding. You can see it on the 15-minute chart and right here. ES is right here, and Nasdaq is expanding lower because it's catching up with ES. Because both of them will go down for sell side liquidity. Both of them. It will not have an SMT. And Daniel, if you have questions, you can ask in the chat. Now, if you look at the Dow, it's rallying. Why? Because it completed its objective yesterday in the Asian session. I took a short yesterday in Dow, expecting it to go for the lows that we have outlined in ES and Nasdaq today. I was expecting it to do the job yesterday. It didn't, but it completed the run in the Asian session. So now it has no point in declining as much ES and Nasdaq are doing. It can do whatever. And if it goes below the sell side liquidity, am I looking for long? I'll have to see what the market provides me. It's not always like relative equal lows go down, reverse. You have to see, you have to align a lot of things. It's a puzzle. You have to look at different things. For now, I'm just interested in step by step. I'm first interested in the sell side liquidity. That's what I want. And for now, it's doing what I outlined. It's respecting that. So I'm happy with the way it's delivering for now. We have a fair value gap here on the 5 minute with the the bearish order block. It can retrace up till here. And then maybe I'm here. I'm not gone. I'm active. Just watching price. Quick question. Are you getting some kind of a noise? I mean, some kind of sound coming from my computer? multiple times. I think it will go into this fair value gap. Also have an order block. Yes, bearish order block. I think it will give the entry. 9:30 opened here, rallied, made the Judas swing into this fair value gap right here. Then we had a displacement lower, market structure shift, fair value gap, classic 2022 model. We have a drawn liquidity as sell side. So that tagged me in. Stop losses around here. That did tag me in. My entry was just a little bit below the open of the order block, incorporating spread. So it did tag me in. Not that it has a wide spread, but I like to, just take my entry a little bit before the PDRA because, it sometimes does not tag you in. So yeah, I am tagged in. I have my take profit set at 2 hour. Aiming for the sell side liquidity. I'm going to remove this now because it's a little, I don't know, or maybe just I'll shift it to the right. Hourly chart, yes, filling the fair value gap on the hourly chart. Same with Dow. Nasdaq does not have a value gap on the hourly chart, but it does on the 5 minute here that I based my entry on. Nasdaq filling the fair value gap, complete closure. I would not like the mean threshold of this bearish order block to be violated. So for me, I don't like this level to be violated. I don't like this rally. It should have declined lower from here, from this fair value gap, but I'm waiting and watching price. If it's a loss, it's a loss. I'm done for the day. Ideally, I would not like this candle to close above this red fair value gap, close inside of it. That's what I would like for bearishness. Okay, I would not like price to go higher than that, the line that I've drawn here, or else I may be wrong there. Just sitting still, letting price do what it has to do. Not if it's a loss, it's a loss. Doesn't mean that I suck or I don't know anything. I know enough. I can work with that. Again, as I said, I would not like this candle to close like that. Maybe closing inside of the Fevali gap, the red one here, is a little far-fetched, but don't violate the mean threshold of this order block with the body of candle. Preferably close inside of this Fevali gap. Any scenario works. I like this. I like this. Now we have a small little Fevali gap here. I don't want price to find support inside of this. I want price to go below it, act as resistance, and go down. So I'll shade it as red. That's what I want price to do. And why did I say I want this candle to close inside of it and it closed there? Because the wicks do the damage. The bodies respect the narrative. If the body had disrespected this the value gap, I would have closed some portion of the trade. But the wicks did the damage and the bodies spoke that the body tell you the narrative. Now, honestly, I don't like the way it's behaving right now, but I'm still going to let it play out. Honestly, I would have wanted, you know, like the entry I got, just like that. Touch the order block, maybe fill in the whole Fair gap with a wick. This is a little too much of an endurance for me. I'm enduring it, but not expected. If you look at it on the 1 minute chart, it's kind of ugly. Ugly. Again, as I said, I will let it play out. Now at this point, I think I'm wrong. Most probably am wrong. But still, this is the last line of defense. It's either a full stop out or me getting my target, not killing the trade manually. Why didn't I kill the trade manually? Because I saw the body is respecting this line that I drew here. I mean, it won't give me a chance to kill the trade manually with bodies. I mean, if it's closes and if it goes higher, it will take me out. That's what I'm trying to say. But this was my last line of defense. I drew this line and the body respected it. So I'm just going to let it play out. Now I want this low to get broken. I'll be honest, this is too much for me. The candle closing here, this is too much for me. I got a little, I, I won't say scared because I'm trying to be, kind of a good influence on the viewers. I'm trying to compose my voice so that the viewers think that I'm well composed. But this what I'm trying to say is I am human. I feel emotions as well. When it's moving against my positions and I'm live streaming and I'm saying that it should move the other direction, I feel like a fool when it's moving against me. I do feel like a genius when it moves in my favor, but I try to control both the emotions and I try to speak with calmness. And please, I see your uh, I see you typing questions in the chat. Allow me the liberty to answer when I can, because I am dealing with a lot of things on the charts, right? So allow me the liberty. I'll answer, but on my own time. So now I'm going to rush my stop loss up to this level right here, up to the candle's body, minimizing some risk. Again, letting the market do what it's supposed to do, not making decisions impulsively. We had framed the bias, we had framed the logic, our narrative, everything. Now I'm just letting it play out. That's what I'm doing. It's either a stop out or a target. Don't like this, don't like this. I want the consequent encroachment of this wick to be broken again. I don't like this kind of a wick forming right here. It's supposed to go lower, break this, break these two arrays, and then I'll be confident about the trade idea. And my stop loss is right now at this level. Break these arrays. Now, honestly, I actually don't, I would have wanted this trade to be completed with, you know, entering on a, in this fair value gap, not totally filling it, and definitely not this kind of a retracement, but, you know, it is what it is. Now, honestly, I want to place my stop loss here above this high. I'm going to minimize some risk now. Risk minimized. Stop loss is above this high now. Now just bam lower. Below it and resist it. This is the bearish order block for me. If I had not entered, if I was not in the trade, I would use this bearish order block, the low of it, kind of a close proximity entry, because you know the spreads. Bearish order block, consequent encroachment of this wick. The value gap reclaimed. I would use all of these arrays as entry if I was not in the trade. There, I would have entered here again, right there. Dollar is consolidating. Now I don't want the reclaimed fair value gap to be taken out again. That is troublesome for me because my stop loss is right here, below, above this high. So I want these two red levels to resist price and ram lower. Again, I don't like this. Yeah, I've been stopped out now. I am stopped out now with a, what's that? 150. Less than 150. Let's say point 0.5 minus point 0.5 hour, more than a point 0.5, like point 0.7 hour, something, point 0.6 hour, minus 0.6 something hour. This is not correct, but around this, around that. I lost around $140. Let's observe price now. I have been stopped out, but I'm observing how it's reacting. Not expecting anything from the dollar, as I said. I think it's going to consolidate inside of the green shaded fair gap. ES is ugly right now. If it provides me an entry again, I may take it. Just watching. ES is very ugly right now on the 1 minute chart. Just consolidating, just chopping around. How was the overnight session today? A large range. From Asia, around 20 New York local time, the 20th hour, that is 8 p.m. New York local time. it started declining. It declined in the overnight session, chopped around in the London session, declined pre-New York session before 9:30, and now it's chopping around. So the move may begin around lunch hour or after lunch hour. I think we may have to sit through this. It's doing nothing. It's marking time right now, waiting for the right time. Preferably, it should not take out the high of the soda block, consolidate inside of the soda block, and when the time is right, move down. Right now, it's just marking time. I moved my stop loss up till here. It took me out. And that's what happens when it's supposed to consolidate. It will take out highs and lows and stop you out if you're too close to the current market price. But it won't mess up the narrative. It won't. Maybe it will take out a high that you're not expecting it to be taken out, but the narrative won't be messed up because of the time distortion. It's simply marking time, waiting for the correct time to move when the most damage can be done. This is a trader's job. It takes 1 second to press the button and thousands of seconds to wait. Now I don't like this for bearishness, but let's see. There's a small little gap here. It can take out this high. It most certainly can. If it doesn't, that's actually kind of an SMT divergence because we are making higher highs in yes. Minute fair gap. We have this 1 minute inefficiency here. I'm watching this. Not saying that this is a long. No, 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 no. Even if it is, I'm not interested. Small little inefficiency here. I think price filled it. Small little. I'm watching how we react inside of this inefficiency. We had immediate rebalance on the 5 minute chart. What I'm talking about. Immediate rebalance here. So if it's supposed to rally and take out the high, it should do it now. Now it's like boom, go higher. If it's supposed to take out the high, but I can't form a narrative around it. So what I basically mean to say is I don't know if it's going to take out the high. It looks like it is, but I'm not confident about it. It's still favoring shorts. Mhm. ES is making higher highs, although very small ranges, but still making higher highs. SMT with Dow, Dow not making high highs, lower highs. think let's see. We had immediate rebalance. Now it should shoot up. But when you don't have a narrative around it, you don't take a trade based on PDRAs. Never, 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 never. PDRAs are there to support you, to support market structure. PDRAs are the real market structure. But narrative is king. Drawn liquidity is king. Hope that's clear. Four minutes are not cleaner. Let's see how we react off of this bullish order block. We all I don't think this level is important anymore. We're watching this bullish order block and this propulsion block right here. If these two level fails, the bullish order block and the propulsion block, we are on for suicide. The mean threshold of this propulsion block, if it fails with a body of candle, that's good for bearishness. I'll remove this level. Yep, I like it. I like it. But body of a candle, please. Body of a candle, please. I want to see a body violate that. Just, this 2 minute fill the gap. Maybe act as inversion. So far, so good for bearishness. Looks like it's, just waiting to go fire lower. I have entered an order around here, but I don't think it will provide me an entry. That hurts. But I can enter again because now's the time to move. Yeah, I got an entry around here with this breaker. And my stop loss is around here, the high of the breaker. Now, preferably, I want this to be a breakaway gap. And I'm shooting for sell side liquidity now. And now is the time it will move. In my opinion, now is the perfect time to move. Ram lower. It's coming for sell side now. Preferably break away from this. When it breaks this low, my stop will be around here, after it breaks this low. Yeah, it should ram lower now. I'm moving my stop loss a little bit, not much. After it breaks this low, it's yet to do it, but it will do it.
I don't think it did it quite well.
Come on. Or maybe I won't move my stop because now I'm a little confident about my trade. Let's see how it works out. Again, if it fails, it fails. That's a loss, and then I'm definitely done for the day. But right now, the conditions are good for my short. I'm a little confident. If I lose this trade, I will be not thinking that I obviously I did something wrong if I lose the trade. But as for now, I think I'm following the narrative well.
My narrative. Well,
Let's go on. I will use this as the bearish breaker. That's why I am going to trim my stop loss a little bit up till here, being conservative after it breaks the low. But I do feel like it's not going to come back. It's not going to give a deeper retracement to me on my position. It's going to ram lower, but I won't be too facetious about it. Just let the trade play out. We have a 3 minute fair value gap upside. I'll show you the chart. This 3 minute fair value gap. It can come inside of it. That can be another entry. But the way I entered, it's already like, say you didn't enter and you saw this. This can be a market structure shift, fair value gap, and see my entry is around the fair value gap before the fair value gap even formed. But if I have to enter again, I'll use this fair value gap as entry. If I wasn't short already, I would have shorted with the 3 minute fair value gap. Now this is a little more than a minute India, but I mean I'm enduring it, but it's still valid. Still valid. We had institutional order flow entry drill. I'm going to remove the 3 minutes that we got. The 5 minute we had an institution order flow entered here. Now, if you ask me, I mentally I don't want it to come back up again after we break this low. And it should. Now, mentally, I'm thinking I should have gotten a better entry. I mean, I got an like kind of an I got in with a limit order, but this retracement could have gotten me a better entry. But I was not. I'm still happy with the way I entered. I'm aiming for something like 4 hour below the sell side liquidity pool. So that's the power of RR. Even if I lose this trade, I will be down minus 1.5 R. And maybe I find something like this some other day that I'll be net profitable and a whole lot profitable. So I don't care if I lose the trade because it's also a game of probabilities, right? Letting the trade play out, not impulsively making decisions. After we break this low, ideally, I would want to place risk, reduce my risk, maybe up till here, half. I'll cut my risk in half after we break this low here. And then we will be that this will be a conservative market structure shift. I entered according to a aggressive market structure shift. Now it should decline within the next 5 minutes or so. Did a fair value gap here, 3 minute. It retraced up into it. Now I want it to violate the mean threshold of this order block, propulsion block. I'm going to not do anything, a little bit. Let's see. Now in the next 3 minutes, I want it to decline. We have a good 2022 model on the 3 minute chart right here. This would be your market structure shift, an aggressive one, admittedly, but still it is. This would be a conservative market structure shift with a breaker. So far, it's okay. Yeah, I'm thinking I could have gotten a better entry, but I'm never really satisfied with my entry. Then letting the market play out itself. Letting the market play out itself. Now it should begin declining. Very choppy right now, very choppy. I'm thinking if I had gotten a better entry, I wouldn't be suffering the drawdown here. But it's you'll always feel these things. I'm saying this because, to make myself relatable that yeah, I feel these things as well. It should decline now. It's high time. Very slow, man, very slow. Very, very slow. It's good to suffer like this sometimes. It humbles you. Although the trade idea is still valid, I'm going to let it play out. Admittedly, I'm a little tired now. I want to rest a little bit. I also want to trim my stop loss because I've not trimmed it yet. It's immediately rebalancing. It's moving lower and immediately rebalancing. That means when it moves, it will be sudden move. Like like big bull, black candle, big black candle. That can happen. That will suggest that my trade will be completed in a few minutes if that happens. Because after consolidation, what is the next phase? Expansion. Expansion. And no, it didn't move like I said it would, like in the next 5 minutes, but still valid. Still valid. And if it's going down, it will be rapid. Now, if it breaks this low, I will move my stop to break even. So far, valid, valid, valid. Now, if you were feeling a little nervous, it's 1:1 hour right now. So you can close the trade at 1:1 hour. Ram down, stops at break even, ram down now. My stop is at break even. Because if it stops me out now, I'm wrong. It's supposed to ram down with big black candle. It's a comfortable situation for me. The stop is at break even. We had a market structure shift happens over to one. Hmm. Difficult session. I'll be really honest. It's a very difficult session for me because I'm sitting in drawdown for a longer time than I'm used to. I'm not used to sitting in this much drawdown. I mean, this amount of time where I'm sitting in. But I'm also building my patience and that's how patience pays. So I got an entry here, sat through all this drawdown, all this replacement, completely okay, still valid it was. And now stop is at break even. Now letting the trade play out. I'm up 1 hour now. If you're, I'm going to hold the trade. Maybe I should close it if I'm, volume balance. I don't, I'm going to hold it, but let's see, let it play out. Let's just let it play out. it stops me out now at break even, we are done for the day, but with some minus 0.6 hour or something. Otherwise, it's 4 hour. Really difficult for me today. What I'm also watching is this. It either stops me out or it's going to be 4 hour. One or the other. Stops me out at break even or 4 hour. Now, after we break this low again, I'll move my stop loss to better than break even above this blue shaded fair value gap. And then I'll not move my stop again. The consequent encroachment of this wick, I want it to violate. Nasdaq a little bit better. Little bit. But my focus is on, yes, sorry, I said it wrong. ES a little bit better, but my focus is on Nasdaq. Sitting through a choppy market, torturing myself and the viewer. How are you feeling, Daniel? I'm not even sure if you're there. Wow, very long one. Yeah, it's a long one. Sit through it, torture yourself. Yes, I took the contract. Yes, taking partials in this kind of choppy markets is the best way to go because you will get stopped out not because your trade idea was wrong. You will get stopped out because of you moving your SL, or even if you don't move your SL, sometimes it gives you a deeper retracement than you were expecting. Like for example, here the trade idea is still valid, but I had my stop loss around here. It didn't even violate the high of this order block. No, it didn't. But my stop loss placement being aggressive, if I would have taken partials, that would be, if you take partials, then you don't need to, you know, move your stop loss. The partials do the job of minimizing the risk. So that's a good thing. Good job. I'm going to hold the trade because layout. And now my stop is at break even, so it doesn't matter. I like the fact that we violated the consequent encroachment of this order block of this wick. Ram lower, please. And don't be thinking that I'm getting emotional when I say like ram lower, please. I'm just kidding. I will take a partial when we touch the if we take out the sell side liquidity in ES, I'll take a partial in NQ. I mean, if it forms some kind of a difference, like it does not take out sell side in NQ and it does in ES and it's showing signs of strength, then I'll take a partial. But up till then, now I will move my stop loss a little bit more. Oh, what should I do? A little bit, just a little bit better than break even. Little bit, not much.
Consider I'm not even moving.
If you want, you can take off the whole position because it is a choppy market. It's a difficult session to navigate into. When you are feeling uncomfortable, take off the whole position with some profit. You don't have to hold for the whole target. Now I'm up more than 1 RR, so you can, you know, the goal is to be profitable. Price coming here and me taking partials and maybe the whole position off is me being profitable. And price coming here where I said it's coming, where I'm showboating that it's coming, that's me being right. And there's a difference between being profitable and being right. My stop loss is just around this level, just a little bit better than break even because I do it better than break even just a little bit because of the spread. If I do it better than break even, then the spread will allow me to get out at break even. You can see how it's not leaving any inefficiency. So what I'm thinking that it's going to be rapid when it leaves this. It's going to be rapid. So that's what I'm thinking. It's going to be rapid after we break the low. Now, when your stop is at break even, you can close your charts and go do something else because of the fact that I'm also not willing to take another trade after this if I get stopped out or if I get full profit. And neither of these scenarios, I'm not taking another trade. So you can chill a little bit after this. And don't move your stop loss again. You can see how prices moving lower, rebalancing, moving lower, rebalancing. So after we break this low, I'm expecting expansion. Expansion lower. Hmm. If you guys want, you can carry on with the day forward. Going to be a little slow. Stop is at break even, target set. So it's either a stop out at break even or full target. So you can do something else if you like, or you can tape lead, whatever you want. I'm still here watching it. I'm here as well. Let's watch it. Watch it on the 15 minute. My stop is above around this candle's high. So yeah, my stop is above the, still saying, I'm not changing it. I'm just saying that it's above this blue level. Don't mind this retracement. Maybe I'll get stopped out at break even. Yeah, I got stopped out at break even again. So that's going to be it for today. Difficult session. Had a minus 0.5, 0.67 or something. Could have taken profits here below these relative equal lows, but I wanted to hold for the whole position. I don't regret doing that, but it is what it is. I got stopped out. And if you have taken partials here, congratulations, you're profitable. So that's going to be it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you some other day. Goodbye.